Welcome to a brand new episode of the Keto Vegan. This is the podcast that explores the fascinating world of plant-based, low-carb living. Some people think it's impossible. I know it is not. And today I am going to take you on a thought-provoking journey into the realm of vegan documentaries. These films have the power to ignite change, challenge perspectives and shed light on the different facets of veganism. I am Rachel and your host. So in this episode, I'm going to delve into the world of vegan documentaries. I'm going to share you my thoughts, the one that changed my life and some that changed other people's lives that I've interviewed on this podcast already. And whether you are a seasoned vegan, did watch a documentary that changed your life, or just a curious newcomer, or mainly just simply interested in the world of plant-based living, this episode promises to be an enlightening exploration of documentaries that inspire, educate, and some of them entertain. Some are incredibly traumatic. So let's get started. Some of the most popular documentaries I'm going to start with, one being Cowspiracy. That was made in 2014 and you can find it on Netflix if you've got access to Netflix, or you can buy the book online. The IMDb rating for that is 8.1 out of 10. That's pretty high, isn't it? Rotten Tomatoes rating, 89%, and the runtime is 85 minutes. So Cowspiracy, The Sustainability Secret, is a documentary that investigates the environmental impact of animal agriculture. It argues that animal agriculture is the most destructive force on the planet and that we need to reduce our consumption of meat and dairy products in order to save the environment. So if people are interested in environmental issues, this is a really good one to watch. It's not so much about the sentience of animals, etc., etc. It's about the devastation of the impact of animals on our planet. Now, their website, which is www.cowspiracy.com, and then if you put in /facts, they do state that, let me just quote to you, the science and research done on the true impacts of animal agriculture is always growing. The statistics used in the film were based on the best information we had available while producing the film. We will continually update this list with further resources as they become available. So I was going to show this to students in my religious studies group when I was teaching about animal ethics. They were going to watch it, well, we were watching it in class, and then I got them to do fact finding because there are many facts stated in Cowspiracy that are incorrect. So I got my students, and I think it's really good for everybody to do this, I got my students to be fact finders and look for more information about what the real data was. But good for Cowspiracy, they recognize that some of their data was incorrect and is incorrect now. Sorry, probably was correct at the time of filming, but is incorrect now. And so they are keeping their facts page of their website absolutely up to date. So there will be a link for that under the podcast. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is The Game Changers. Now, my son watched this a few years ago, I think when it first came out. It's 2018 film, it's a Netflix documentary again. So you can find this on Netflix, Apple TV, Fandango Now, and VUDU Voodoo. So the IMDb rating is 7.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 70%. But it says 70% tomato meter and 99% audience score. I don't know actually what those mean because I'm not really a film buff. I'm really sorry. I've just done this research around these films. So the runtime of that is 86 minutes. Okay, what's this one about if you haven't watched it? So it's a documentary that explores the benefits of a plant-based diet for athletes. It features lots of interviews with elite athletes who have switched to a plant-based diet and improved their performance. So athletes such as Lewis Hamilton, Novak Djokovic and, oh, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. There's a few there that I don't know how to pronounce. I'm really sorry about that. Now, mixed reviews from when people watched it, but my son sent a message out to the family chat, so that's uncles, aunts, cousins, grandparents, saying, watch this documentary, it's amazing, it's really good. And I'm like, yes, he has become vegan. But no, it didn't actually last that long. I mean, he loves my food when he comes around here, but he's got his own place and does his own cooking, but hasn't gone the vegan route. But he did for that little bit of time because he wanted to get healthy and fit. And there's a part in that film, and I remember this part, that it says that men are more virile and have more erections through the night when they become vegan. Gentlemen, that's certainly something worth thinking about, isn't it? So do go for that one. Now, the only other one that I have watched is Unity. And as I said, that changed my life. And I'll explain why I haven't watched any more. I'm going to talk about lots more, but I haven't watched any more. So Unity is in 2015. It had this beautiful picture of a tree. I love a tree, on Amazon. I watched it on Amazon when it was free. It's not free at the moment, but you can buy it on Amazon. And it's a documentary film that explores humanity's transformation. And it's presented in 5 chapters: cosmic, mind, body, heart, and soul. And the film is written, directed, and produced by Sean Monson and is the sequel to the 2005 film Earthlings. Now, this film, the cinematography in it is stunningly beautiful, and it's traumatic when I watched it, but I've known other people that have watched it and they didn't think it was that bad. But I guess it was in the right time, in the right place for me. Now, the documentary is narrated by an absolutely astounding cast of 100 celebrity narrators, including people like, let me have a look, Casey Affleck, Pamela Anderson, Jennifer Aniston, Michael Beckwith, Kristen Bell, Deepak Chopra. You recognize that, even though you don't see them, you recognize those voices. Now, the title Unity signifies the film's or the documentary's intention of the content. It's not so much to entertain like a pastime, but rather turn something on inside of you that has been suppressed or forgotten by the mask that society or tradition puts upon us. But more than that, the film also helps relate us to the mystery of existence, to all of existence, which we are merely a part, a small part. And it talks about, it includes about how humans destroy ourselves. We're the only species that goes to war. There's so much happening at the moment. I'm recording this at the end of October 23 when the Israeli-Hamas conflict is going on. It's mindless, it's needless, but that is not what this episode is about. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, I realise I lied. I have seen Seaspiracy. That's also on Netflix. It's more accurate with the data and the facts and figures given than Cowspiracy. So it investigates the environmental impact of the fishing industry, and it argues that the fishing industry is responsible for overfishing. Obviously, I think we all know that. Ocean acidification and the destruction of marine ecosystems. And that came out in 2021. And I know when people started seeing that, I didn't see it straight away. So many people made the overnight decision to stop eating fish. So that was really good. Now, another documentary that I want to talk about, and I haven't seen. Now, I'll tell you why I don't watch these. I find some of these things incredibly upsetting. I'm a vegan for the animals, not for my health. And to see the suffering, it makes me weep, it makes me cry, and it's really upsetting. Now, as a person, I like to keep my vibration high and positive. and I know what to do about animals. I don't want to harm them. So I might watch some more in the future. I mean, talk to me about what you think about that. But I have done the research around some others, other documentaries, just to give you some information. So I'm going to talk now about What the Health. That's made in 2017. You can find that on Netflix. The IMDb rating is 7.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, not got one for that. The runtime is 97 minutes. Now, this is a documentary that examines the links between diet and chronic diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And it argues that eating a plant-based diet is the best way to prevent and reverse these diseases. The next one I'm going to talk about is Forks Over Knives. That was made in 2011. And it examines the link between diet and chronic diseases as well. So have a look at either of those. It is on Netflix, got a IMDb rating of 7.7. And again, about eating a plant-based diet to prevent or reverse chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. Okay, Dominion is the next one. So this exposes the cruelty inflicted upon animals in factory farms, slaughterhouses, and other industries that exploit animals for human consumption or use. And you can watch that on Vimeo. It's got an IMDb rating of 8.3. You can also watch it on www.watchdominion.com. And when I'm saying the IMDb ratings, obviously they are changeable because people can rate at any time. So the ones that I'm giving you are the ones that I found as of today. Another one that I want you to watch that I want to tell you about. I think this is going to be incredibly traumatic, is one that I don't think I could watch. Unless I go off the vegan path, then it might kick me back in. So this is Earthlings. It was made in 2005. So you're getting the idea here that quite a lot of these are pretty old. And this is the one that came before Dominion, and it's narrated by Joaquin Phoenix. So it's a distressing and eye-opening look into all aspects of the abuses performed against animals across the globe, from animal agriculture, clothing, entertainment, scientific research, and even the mistreatment at the heart of the pet industry. So the reviews say that it's possibly one of the vegan documentaries that's broadest with its lens. The film seeks to provide a much needed look at the industry back in 2005. And it does this with a poetic and harrowing script. It is shocking and arresting with its visuals, and the soundtrack is provided by Moby, who is vegan. You can watch this on YouTube. So if you go to www.nationearth.com, there you will see a YouTube link for it. I will put the YouTube link underneath the podcast. Now, some of the comments on YouTube, I want to share some of those. This is why I don't think I could watch it. One comment says, I don't know if I can get through this documentary. I'm only 15 minutes in and it has been a 15-minute long panic attack. But I recently made the decision to go vegan, and it's about time I open my eyes for the ugly truth. I don't have words for how heartbreaking this is. Another comment from a watcher. So horrible, gruesome, and very sad indeed. My heart cries for these animals. I'm glad that my family are vegan. I have wanted to stop eating meat for decades for all the reasons in this documentary. Some I already know, many I wish I didn't. I cry, pause, walk away, hit play again, all while trying to keep my eyes open so I never forget what we do for our simple pleasures in life. This is the hardest thing to watch, but I wish everyone would take the time and educate yourselves, even when it's so easy to just pretend it's not happening. Wow, isn't that the truth? most of the people that I've interviewed have watched something that have made them become vegan. It happened to me. It happened to Gary. It's happened to just about everybody that I know who is vegan. My daughter, my middle child, she saw a pig at a hog roast. That turned her. So she's one of the few that I know that didn't do it because of watching a documentary. Now, Molly mentioned Blackfish. That changed her. She watched it at school. And I'm just going to... I haven't seen it. When was it? It was quite a long time ago. I'm not entirely sure when it was made. But you can watch it on Netflix, Prime Video, Apple TV, Fandango Now, and Vudu. So it's the psychological thriller that looks into the tragic death of a trainer at SeaWorld, the events and practices that led up to this, the aftermath, and the role of the industry in trying to cover up the facts. It's widely considered to be heavily responsible for the changing public perspective of SeaWorld and animal rights at attractions like it, and a shift in the sales and endorsement of such water parks. Now, the film Blackfish was expertly put together to provide the audience with a shocking and informative journey through the lives of the animals and employees at parks like SeaWorld across the globe. The documentary, through interviews, tells a story that is unapologetic and deeply troubling for the viewer. So that's the one that Molly watched. It said the Rotten Tomatoes rating on that one is 80% on the tomato meter and 90% audience score. The IMDb rating for that is 8.1 out of 10. Okay, so I think let's have a look if there's another one that I want to tell you about. So, let's have just this last one, a bit more about animal testing. This is called Maximum Tolerated Dose. You can watch it online. The IMDb rating is 8.9 out of 10. So I've put the link underneath the podcast, but you do have to buy it. It's $5. So it's https://maximum tolerated dose.vhs.tv. So that's $5 to watch. Now, let's give you a little bit of a breakdown of what that's about. It's not focusing necessarily just on animal agriculture or the benefits of a vegan lifestyle. This documentary focuses on the closed doors of the animal testing industry behind many cosmetics still and health products that we use on a daily basis. Now, there's interviews and it says never before seen footage. We are shown exactly what level of cruelty and hell these animals go through. Now, it's not just focusing in on the horrible effect on the animals. It also shines a light on the impact it has on the humans that are required to do the testing, how their opinions and beliefs have changed over the course of their employment and why they would never go back. So it's as eye-opening as it is shocking. And the large proportion of the testing and data that is ultimately unusable, not fit for purpose, or just pointless is heartbreaking. So that's another one. Do let me know if you watch any of these or have watched any of these. Leave comments on my YouTube page. The link for that is underneath as well, unless, of course, you're watching it on YouTube. What made you become a vegan? I'd be really interested to know. And also, what would you like me to do an episode on? Let me know, leave a comment. All my details are underneath. Thank you for listening. Do subscribe. Please you'll be doing me a favor if you hit subscribe or follow underneath the podcast.